Hi, everybody. I want to first of all apologize for any background noise you're hearing. I'm in Starbucks right now, but I wanted to show you a video about how to make binomial expansion by using Pascal's triangle. So let's start off. I've got Paint open. I'm setting my pencil. It looks like it's in good shape now. So let's start off now by just taking a look at what Pascal's triangle is. So you start with a 1, and then you come down here and you make another 1 and another 1. And then you come out again, you have a 1. And then to get the numbers in the middle, you take the previous two diagonal numbers and add them. So 1 plus 1 equals 2. And then I always have a 1 on the outside. So the next row, I'm going to put some vertical lines in here to help keep me organized. I have a 1. 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. And I have a 1. And make another row. A 1. 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. 3 plus 3 is equal to 6. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. And I have a 1 on the outside. And let's do them all. There's a 1. 1 plus 4 is equal to 5. 4 plus 6 is equal to 10. 6 plus 4 is equal to 10. 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. And again, I always have a 1 on the outside. So there's Pascal's triangle, and you can continue it down as far as you want. Now, here's how I'm going to use Pascal's triangle. Suppose I wanted to expand, for example, 3x minus 2 to the 4th power. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with this 4, and I'm going to come down Pascal's triangle until I find the 4. So remember, every row starts with a 1, but it's that second number that tells me where I need to stop. That's the 4th power row right there. I'm going to use that to set this up. Those are my coefficients. So I'm going to start off with a 1, and then I'm going to have two things multiplied by it. That's the 1 in the first row of Pascal's triangle. The next number in that row is a 4, so I have a plus 4, and I have two things that will be multiplied. I'll put those in next, later. And then the next thing in Pascal's triangle is a 6, so there's a 6 times two things, plus the next row in Pascal's triangle is a 4, so I've got a 4 times two things multiplied, and then finally I've got that 1 and two things multiplied. So that's my first step, is to set up my coefficients and my basic structure. The next thing I'm going to do is put in my exponents, and here's how I do that. I'm raising something to the 4th power, so I'm going to start with a 4. That's on the first thing that's multiplied. Then over here, I'm going to write a 3, then a 2, then a 1, and then a 0. See how my exponents are decreasing? 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So that's the first. And then for the next thing, right here, I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to increase. So I'm going to start with a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that should work out. You should always have just enough things to go whatever the exponent is down to 0, and then from 0 up to whatever your exponent is. If you don't have that, that means that you might have dropped a number when you were writing out your coefficients, or it might mean you might have the wrong row in Pascal's triangle. All right, now for the next step. Let's take a look. I'm raising things to a 3x power and to a minus 2 power. So I'm going to put my 3x's in. And I'm going to put my minus 2's in. And whether you've got a minus or not, it's very important. If there's a negative there, you need to keep the negative. If it's a plus, of course, it'll always be plus. So we want to keep that negative there because that will tell us if our signs are going to change. There's my basic setup right there. The next thing I need to do is really just expand it out. So I'm going to follow the order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. And I'm just going to multiply things out in combined terms. I'm going to do it in more than one step. For me, taking a lot of baby steps is better than trying to take one big step. So let's go ahead and start. I've got a 1, 3x to the fourth means I need to take 3 to the fourth, because that whole thing's in parentheses, so the 4 applies to both 3 and the x. So 3 to the fourth is 81. How do I know that? I know that from teaching algebra for 30 years. You can use a calculator if you want, but if you know what these exponents are, feel free to go ahead. So 3 to the fourth is 81, x to the fourth, negative 2 to the 0 is just a 1. Now I have a 4, and my 3x cubed. 3 cubed is 27, x cubed is x cubed, negative 2 to the first is negative 2. Now I have a 6, 3x, 3 squared is 9, x squared is x squared, negative 2 squared is positive 4. Then I've got my 4, 3 to the first is 3, x to the first is x, negative 2 cubed is negative 8. And finally I have a 1, 3x to the 0 is 1, and negative 2 to the fourth is a positive 16. And here's my next step for Pascal's triangle. 1 times 81 times 1 is 81. And then I have 4 times 27 times a negative 2. Let's see. The way I like to multiply by 4 is I like to double a number and then double it again. So I'm going to do that. 27 times 2 is 54. 54 times 2 is 108. And then I have this negative 2 over here. So 108 times 2 is 216. And that's a negative because of the negative 2. There's my x cubed. Of course, you can use your calculator if you want. I'm sitting outside in a Starbucks in Phoenix, and it's 112 degrees, so I want to get this done quickly, so I'm not going to pull out my calculator. Let's see, what do I have next? 6 times 9 times 4. Let's see, 6 times 9 is 54. And again, I'll do the multiply by 4 trick. I'll double it and double it. So 54 times 2 is 108. And 108 times 2 is 216. X squared. And then here I have 4 times 3 times negative 8. I'll take the 3 times the 8 is 24. And I'll double it twice, 48, 96. Oh, and it's a negative because of that negative on the 8. So I'm going to change that to a negative. Here's my x. And finally, something that's easy to multiply, 16. So as long as I did my multiplication correctly, this should be the correct answer. Okay? I hope this is helpful. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you in class.